Evening everyone. So on Sunday I was hoping to record another little video, my Sunday snippet as I've decided it's going to be called, but unfortunately I had a migraine, so now you're getting my Tuesday tidbit. So before I get started, I'm just going to swivel this round so you can see my little Minnie there having a good old scratch. She's happy now. No nasty fireworks to scare her, make her hide under my trampolines. So, I was umming and ahhing about what to chat about today. I mean, I've got hundreds of topics I can talk to you about, but a few things have become relevant recently through various conversations. So, I've decided to talk about weight. Very, what's the word? Topic that brings up lots of feelings for lots of people. So as women, we're sort of socially conditioned to hone in on our weight at every opportunity that we get. Oh, that's a big yawn, Minnie. It's everywhere, in all the magazines and all the media, even in fitness magazines. Fitness magazines for women are completely different to fitness magazines for men. They focus on diets and weight, and a little bugbear of mine, but hey ho. So we always know what celebrities weigh, as if that's really important, how much they've put on, how much they've lost, like it really matters. It doesn't matter what else they might have achieved, as long as we know their weight, we're happy. So we kind of get it all the time, and we're used to thinking that we should be some sort of ideal weight that we've got in our head, or we want to get down to a weight that we used to be, probably years and years ago, before other factors kicked in, like having children, hormonal changes, all sorts of things. So I was just thinking about what weight means to you guys and how it makes you happy. Have you got a weight in mind that you want to be, and then you feel like when you're there you'll be happy? How many of you have had that in mind before, got to that weight? When you've got to that weight, have you been happy, or have you continued to want to get a bit lower because you've now reached that weight but you're not quite there yet, so let's go a bit lower? Or has there still been something wrong, like you've lost the weight but your tummy's a bit saggy, or you want to tone up your bingo rings? Whatever aspect of your body you've now decided to focus on, now you've hit that goal weight. I would say very few of us are happy when we get there, and it's not a criticism, because I have been in exactly the same position as all of you probably have, where actually for a long time I thought that if I got to a certain weight, or if I was trying to lose weight, that would make me happy. But actually it's pretty bloody miserable, to be honest. And you feel like you're always chasing something and you never quite make it, and you have to give up so much stuff, it's depressing. And for what? Just so I can say I'm this number. And what does that number mean? What does it tell people about me? What does it tell me about me? It doesn't tell me how fit I am. Serena and Venus Williams, for example, I doubt they weigh a small amount, but they weigh way over most of your ideal target weights. But they are bloody fit, they're pretty rich, and they're living the life that they want to live. So, you know, weight doesn't tell you how fit you are. It doesn't tell you what clothes size you are, which is also irrelevant because that's another bugbear, but we'll save that for another video. It doesn't tell you how your body looks. You can look at people, and one woman who's 10 stone is not going to look the same as another woman who's 10 stone. Their bodies will look different regardless of the weight. So when we have those numbers in mind, we don't actually think about what that really means for us. We've just sort of been conditioned to think that if we can get to that weight, if we're at that weight, suddenly magical weight fairy dust will be sprinkled over us and our lives will change. I'm not going to pretend that weight isn't an issue sometimes, because obviously it is. Obesity is the second biggest cause of cancer, which is a shocking statistic. Being overweight put strain on the body, on the joints, on other organs. You know, often you're carrying more body fat, which is then sitting around those organs, particularly the heart, putting strain on the heart. So I'm not going to pretend that weight doesn't have its place to play. For some of us, to lose some weight is a good idea. It's also a good starting point. If you know that you are really overweight, seeing those numbers drop can be useful, it can be motivating. But for most of us, we'll do that, and then there'll come a point where we start to plateau. We're not seeing those numbers fall. We might be going up a bit again, and then we'll come down, and it's that up and down. And then we start to lose sight of the bigger picture because we are so focused on what that number means. We don't look at how our bodies look. I speak to so many people who come to classes and who've done amazing jobs at losing loads of weight, and I think they struggle to see it themselves, particularly when they're still in that phase of they've got that target weight in mind and they're not there, and it seems to be getting harder and harder to get there. But quite often it doesn't matter whether they've lost weight that week or not. The changes in their body are amazing. They're like completely different people. So I think it's good to focus on the other aspects of your weight loss journey. You need to get to a point where you almost need to forget that number. I've been hung up on that number before. It's a waste of time. It took me a long time to realise it. I am probably heavier than I look because I do exercise quite a lot. My diet's good. I don't overeat particularly. I mean, obviously I have days where I just want to stuff my face with cake and biscuits and anything else I can get my hands on. But generally speaking, I eat well. There's lots of women out there who work out, and because they're lifting a lot of weights, they'll be a lot heavier. We can all lose weight without exercise. But exercise is the thing that's really going to make our body shape change, give us more lean muscle rather than the fat. And it's those things that we need to start focusing on instead of that number. That number just doesn't mean anything. The only thing it tells me is that if I put you on a scale, I know how heavy you are. You might be able to run 2 marathons in a day. So does it matter what your weight is if you can do that? Probably not. I could put you on a scale and it could tell me you weigh 12 stone, but your figure could be so lean and you could look amazing. Does it matter that you're 12 stone? No, of course it doesn't. So, my message from today's video, although I think I've waffled quite a lot so far, is to stop focusing on that number. Forget it. I don't have scales in the house. I haven't had scales in the house since my daughter was born because I didn't want her to grow up with that weight culture, that having to step on the scales every day because, oh my God, you might have put on half a pound overnight. So I haven't had scales in the house since then. I won't have them in the house. I don't weigh myself. I'm not going to let myself be dictated to by a number. I know it changes my mood and I'm not going to do it. So I don't have them. I don't weigh myself. Sometimes I have to get weighed when I go to the hospital for my arthritis checkup, but I don't like them to tell me what I weigh. So if they give me the option, I always say no. Yeah, stop focusing on the number. Start looking at all the other positives. Look at the progress you've made. Look at the way your body's changing. Look at the things you can do now that you maybe couldn't do before. Are you getting less out of breath going up the stairs? Can you play with the kids now? Can you sit on the floor and get up and down easily? Are you able to shop in different shops than you could before? Could you get in those jeans that you couldn't get in? Maybe something medically has changed for you and that you no longer got the symptoms of something, or the aches and pains in your legs have gone. Whatever it might be, focus on that, because that is a lot more motivating than not hitting those numbers week in, week out. So that's my Tuesday tidbit. I know I've waffled, apologies. Let me know what you think. Be good to hear from you. Bye.